Okay, welcome back, one and all. I'm now gonna have to switch things up a little bit. My Xbox is acting up, so I found this little screen that I can just focus in on this, and I will be making my reviews from the week 5 of the NFL season. So I'm very much aware they're not on the screen, but on the Thursday night matchup, the Chicago Bears went into Washington to take on the Commanders. I did think that after Chicago got their first victory of the season, sorry, I apologize. Coming into this matchup, Chicago was sitting at 0-4, and the Washington Commanders were sitting at 2-2. So I did predict the Washington Commanders would get the victory in this one, but Chicago, they just had some type of spunk in this one. Obviously, I'm sure the big thing was with Dick Butkus being the former Bear passing away. So they may have used that motivation to try to get them over the hump. And boy, oh boy, did they blow this game out of proportion. The final score was 40-20. So the Bears finally securing their first victory of the season. They're now sitting at 1-4, while the Washington Commanders, I do apologize, have fallen to 2-3. The early game on Sunday had the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Buffalo Bills in London. And to be completely honest with you, if you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, you might as well just move the team to London. They seem to have a lot of success overseas. It's just something with the air. I'm not sure what it is, but it doesn't matter if they're the away team or if they're the home team in this matchup. They always seem to get the job done. They won their week 4 matchup, and then they came into week 5 and they got a big victory over a pretty decent Buffalo Bills team. 25-20 is the final score. Both the teams are now sitting at 3-2 on the season. Coming back to the States, the Houston Texans went into Atlanta to take on the Falcons. I did predict that Houston would get the victory, considering that they're off to such an incredible start, considering I thought they would have been like tanking all season. Coming into the matchup, they were sitting at 2-2, as were the Atlanta Falcons. Final score: Atlanta 21, Houston 19. Atlanta has now improved to 2-3, and the Texans have fallen to 2-3. But that's not really like all hope is lost, because that division's the season's still young, and they're only a game behind first place. So really, no need to hit the panic button just yet if you are a Houston Texans fan. The next matchup took place in the Motor City between the Detroit Lions, I do apologize, and the Carolina Panthers. Coming into the matchup, both of these teams, sorry, coming into the matchup, the Panthers were still winless on the season, and the Detroit Lions are sitting pretty on top of that North Division. Uh, Final score in this matchup had the Detroit Lions at 42 and the Carolina Panthers at 24. So the Panthers are still the only winless team in the league at 0-5, while the Red Hot Detroit Lions are sitting at 4-1 on top of that NFC North division. The Tennessee Titans went into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I did predict the Colts to get this victory. It was a closer matchup than I thought. 23-16 is the final score. The Colts have now improved their record to 3-2, while the Tennessee Titans have fallen to 2-3. The Baltimore Ravens went into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, and I did predict that Pittsburgh would get the victory, and it was close. But just like with almost any divisional matchup, you're going to have a very close contest, because both those teams want the victory. They're hungry for the victory, so it's very scarce. You're going to have one team blow out the other. Final score 17-10. The Steelers and Ravens are now both sitting at 3-2, but since the Steelers got the victory over the Ravens, they are now sitting atop of that AFC North division. The Cincinnati Bengals went into Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I did predict that Cincinnati would get the victory, and did they ever? Final score 34-20. They are now sitting at 2-3, while the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at 1-4. One of two undefeated teams took the field on Sunday. The Philadelphia Eagles went into LA to take on the Rams. Final score in this one 23-14 for the Eagles. They are now sitting at 5-0. The Rams have fallen to 2-3. The Kansas City Chiefs went into Minneapolis to take on the Vikings. I did predict that KC would get the victory in this one. Final score 27-20. The Chiefs have now improved to 4-1. They're sitting atop of that AFC West division pretty nicely, while the Minnesota Vikings are basically tied for last in that NFC North at 1-4. The Sunday night matchup took place in San Fran in between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers. Final score 42-10 for the San Francisco 49ers. So the 49ers, along with the Eagles, are still the only two undefeated teams, sitting at 5-0. And the Dallas Cowboys are now sitting at 3-2. The Monday night matchup took place in Vegas between the Raiders and the Packers. Final score in this one 17-13. I did predict that Vegas would get the victory, and obviously it was a pretty close matchup. It came down to an interception that ended the Packers' hopes of pulling off a victory in the Sin City. Both of these teams are now sitting at 2-3. So the four teams that had their bye week were the Seattle Seahawks, the Cleveland Browns, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Los Angeles Chargers. So in this particular week, I improved my record. I had 11 correct, 3 incorrect. My overall record, I am now sitting at 45 wins and 36 losses. So coming off a pretty decent haul when it comes to the picks from week 4 to week 5. So I'm not going to complain in the least. As long as I stay above 500, I think I should be A-okay. As always, if you like this content, I do videos on the daily. I will be making my predictions for week 6 tomorrow. So the video should be uploaded by tomorrow for my week 6 picks of the NFL season. I may sound like a broken record, but again, if you're new to this channel and you do happen to like the content that I am producing, feel free to hit that sub button, and I'd be very grateful to say the least. And as always, take care.